making this video about the $17 billion bailout for the US auto manufacturers. Now, if I had $17 billion to spend, I wouldn't spend it on companies that are going to make cars that guzzle gas and fall apart after a couple of years. What would I spend $17 billion on if I was a US citizen who was truly interested in the welfare of my own country? I would spend that $17 billion on something that my country really, really needed badly. And it would have to be something that would have a long-term benefit, not keep people employed for just another few months. What does the United States of America need really badly? They need power. And I'm not talking about political power. I'm talking about energy. So I would spend that $17 billion on something that would give me more energy at a cheaper price. So what can give you more energy at a cheaper price? The answer is solar panels. So instead of building lousy cars, I'd ask those manufacturing companies to start building solar panels. And I spend my $17 billion to get those unemployed or potentially unemployed people to build solar panels. One of the natural resources that the United States of America has is sunshine. You have millions and millions of acres of desert. You have an unpopulated region that has an enormous amount of power, and yet is land which is not useful for very much in the way of economy, except for sunshine. So let's do the math. Solar panels can be purchased retail price for about $4 a watt. Now, if I had a huge manufacturing company making those solar panels, I would expect that the price would be much, much cheaper. But let's be conservative and use the price of $4 a watt. So here's the math. The bailout is $17 billion. So with $17 billion, I could buy 4,250,000,000 watts. But electricity is sold by the kilowatt hour. And so if we do the math, that leaves us with 4,250,000 kilowatts per hour. What's the price of electricity per kilowatt hour? The average price for residential electricity is 11 cents per kilowatt hour. If you keep doing the math, that now results in $5,610,000 per day. And then continue again, that results in $2,047,650,000 per year. So after 8 years, the citizens of the United States of America should get their $17 billion back. But there should be even more amazing benefits that you would see in the long term. So first of all, solar panels have an estimated lifespan of 30 years. That would result in $61 billion So that $61 billion in the next 30 years can now go back to pay the wages of the people who are building the solar panels so that they can build even more and eventually reach the point where the United States of America does not have to rely on any outside sources for their energy. Imagine that. But there are some incredible long-term benefits for doing this. For instance, the price of power in the United States should start to drop. And if the price of power in the United States drops, then manufacturing companies and industries will start to build factories inside the United States to take advantage of that, which will employ even more people. Further, you would not have to buy oil at ridiculous prices so that you can generate this power. And so now the price of oil should drop because the demand should also drop. The environment will benefit a great deal. You won't have all the smokestacks, or you won't have to dispose of nuclear waste. You won't have to dam up rivers and destroy the environment with hydroelectric dams. You won't have to be at the mercy of all those other countries who are presently selling oil to you. You will be exploiting one of the abundant resources that the United States of America has: sunshine. But not only would you have cheap electricity for American industry and manufacturing, you'd have cheap electricity for American transport companies. On the horizon, there are vehicles now being built which use electricity. And so you've now developed a resource for something that we know is going to happen in the future. You'll be able to transport your goods using cheap solar power. So these are the kind of decisions that your elected government needs to make in order for the United States of America to return to its former glory. But the question is, will they make those kind of decisions? Or will they throw the $17 billion at something that's almost guaranteed to fail?